Popkorn.
Yeah, what's up? It's Popcorn episode 26. Earlier this year, we put out episode 25 and it was like 30 minutes long. But we're going back to 15 minutes less. Maybe 15, 16 minutes, it just depends. Alright, today we're going to talk about I let the fans choose what I was going to talk about. Like, I went on live not too long ago and they hit me up and said, the first person asked, what was your state of mind when you were writing Contradiction? State of mind when I was writing Contradiction, I was in Abuja 2004. I just finished recording Malcolm IX, songs like Formidable, songs like Flawless, classics. I was in that hip-hop state of mind. I was working at Rhythm and I was on a roll. I was working with G-Links most of the time, so I was waiting for G-Links to hit me up with a batch of beats, because he gave me the first batch. We actually recorded a project, Odisuna Experiments, so I was actually waiting for the next batch of beats, and then I started writing. Then I used to download instrumentals from the internet. So I downloaded a couple of instrumentals from, was it YouTube or something? It took a long time to download those instrumentals. I think I got some MF Doom, rest in peace to MF Doom. I got some MF Doom beats too. I didn't even know there were MF Doom beats. And some J Dilla beats. I had a whole batch of J Dilla beats. So I started writing. I first wrote probably a verse from Contradiction. I felt it was really cute. I wrote the first line. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I wrote the second line, and the second line made sense. And the third line, I was like, woo, I can continue, But you have to be super inspired so that you don't write rubbish. So I stopped at probably the 12th bar, and I let it sleep for like probably 2 weeks. Then I started again. I wrote the remaining 4 bars, so I had one verse, brooded over it. I wasn't going to use it immediately, so I wasn't in a hurry. But then after that, I picked it up again one day when I was just going through my old rhymes. And I wrote part of the second verse. After doing that, I left it, came back to it, and I wrote half of the second verse. So I had 12 bars. Then one day I just woke up in the morning before going to work, got it in, finished it. When I finished it, I was like, okay, I don't even know what this is for. It was at the same time, around the same time, just after I wrote Nigerian Girl. So I was like, okay, let's just keep it. It's one of those gems we'll just keep. I wasn't too excited. I was like, okay, it makes sense. So fast forward to 2005, I think. 2005, I was in ABJ, hustled, moved to Lagos in January of 2005. I quit my job though, so I moved to Lagos, and then I got to deal with question mark. And I did Pentium IX first. Funny enough, I had those rhymes, but I didn't remember where they were. They were somewhere. So I had those rhymes, but I didn't remember where they were. So I didn't use them for Pentium IX. Boom. So when I finished Pentium IX, and I was now working on my main album in 2006, I found a whole bunch of rhymes from when I was going crazy with the lyrics. I kept them inside one bag. So I saw the lyrics. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was like, this is crazy. So I got a Shehu beat. I promised myself I wasn't going to do any battle rap on E Pluribus Unum. I promised myself, let me just make everything about, since Pentium IX had all the battle rap, let me just make it about something. But this rhyme this track just fit in. Track 10, I think it was track 10. It just fit in. Even Obi Asika hit me up and to tell me that, yo, that was fire. That's his favorite track. I was like, thank you very much. So the beat was made by Shehu. He's in Malta right now. And then we got Divine. Divine was another talented artist, and he used to come around Question Mark a lot. And I kind of liked his style. The guy was very talented. So I got Divine to do the hook, and he smashed it. Totally smashed the hook. Smashed the hook. He killed it. When the track was finished, I was like, yo, this is that joint. I begged my record label to shoot the video, and they refused. They were like, no, okay, we're gonna shoot this, we're gonna shoot that. They should have shot that video. That video would have been something else. And that's how Contradiction was made. Shout out to Sheo, shout out to Divine, and shout out to my studio engineer, T.O.D. And that question was asked by a man called Bad Mossad. He asked the question last week, and I'm like, wow, this guy is on point. So we go on to the next question. The guy called Ark, codenamed Kelvin. He said, what was going on in your mind when you did No Church in the Wild with Terry and Pharaoh? Okay, but let me just say how it went down. Jay-Z and Kanye just put out Watch the Throne, and many people thought it was really dope. I felt it was a good album, but not really the beats I would pick, not all of them. But it was a good album, and they went in. So at first I just recorded one song, and then me and Terry recorded Otis. Then when I moved houses, I recorded Otis again, and I was like, wait a minute, let me just start recording more songs. So I was recording more songs. I did it in 2 weeks. I think I did the whole project in 2 weeks. And the No Church in the Wild, I wasn't gonna do it, but Terry the Rap Man and Ferocious came over to the crib, and they came for something else. And I was like, hey guys, why don't we just, Terry liked the beat. He was like, man, let's kill this, man. I was like, okay. So Terry and Ro, they wrote their verses right there. And there was one thing about their verses. I already had my verse. Their verses had wrestling bars. They had wrestling bars in their verses. And I was like, wow. Because my verse had some wrestling bars, like Ricky Steamboat. I had Ricky Steamboat. So that verse was written for something else. Like, I don't usually write 2 beats. I can write to any beat and then use it for any track. So I just used that verse, but I'd made up on my mind I was going to use that verse. So that was the verse I used, and guys loved it. They loved it. Guys loved it. And the version, the Watch the Throne version, was dope. Then when I went to Abuja to work on some other stuff, I had the acapella of the joint, and Pharaoh was like, yo man, let me make a remix. So Ferocious made a remix of the joint. So we have an original beat. We have it on an original beat, and that remix was sick. Pharaoh was just a talented producer. I used to know him as a rapper, only a rapper. But when some producer was messing him around, he just got mad. He was like, look, I'm gonna start producing. And that's what he did. And he's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at producing. Not pretty good, he's really good at it. One of these days, me and Pharaoh are gonna have a joint album, hopefully. So the next question is from a guy called Emmy Divine, and he goes, what was your inspiration behind A Hero Comes Home. Now, A Hero Comes Home, straight off the Paradigm Shift album. And that came out in 2008 after I left Question Mark. That was in November 2008. Around that time, I did a lot of movie watching. I was just watching movies. When I left Question Mark, I decided to just chill for some time. I did a couple of shows, but I was watching a lot of movies. So Beowulf was one of my favorite movies, and I linked up with a producer called Apprentice. He was one of the guys on AfricanHipHop.com. The guys I used to criticize us every now and then, but we hooked up. A KD boy, Apprentice, and he sent me a couple of beats, and I picked this beat, the Hero Comes Home beat, because he sampled Beowulf. I really loved it. I got Craft to fix it up because it was sounding off in some place. The sample was kind of off, so I got Craft to fix it up because he also sent the data. So Craft fixed it up. Let's get that straight. Craft did a lot of work on that. So when he fixed it up, I decided to go in with the bars. I wrote my bars, and it was kind of like a movie, and people loved it. It was basically like a kind of joint that the hip hop heads would love. And I used to just, because I was off a label and I had 100% creative control, I just went crazy with it. You know, I had the freedom to just do whatever I wanted, and I did that, and it worked.